Well, a good Friday morning to you. It's Dan. I want to welcome everyone to my home in the sticks. And I hope everybody's having a good Friday, and I hope everybody's looking forward to the weekend. But over here in East Central Mississippi, it's been raining for the last 5 days, but we finally got some sun, and we're gonna have it for a few more days anyway. Before we get started on today's video, I'm always gonna say that if you are new to the channel, I want to welcome you. If you return and just see what old Dan's got going on over here, I sure enough thank you for coming back. But what I want to share with you and y'all today is we're going to take a look at my fruit trees over here. Haven't showed you and y'all that in a while. So give me a second, and that's what we finna do. What I'm going to say is when I first bought this property 15 years ago, there were no trees whatsoever, minus that fig tree and that fig tree. Well, they're supposed to be fig trees, but they overgrown. But there were actually no trees on this property whatsoever. So what I did, and this was a while back, and I didn't really know much about planting trees to begin with, I was on a quest to get more trees on this property. For one, trees do a lot of things for the environment, and I just like trees, period. But we're walking over here, and I'm gonna show you this because that thing was dead. Let's go check it out. Look at there. That is a peach tree that I planted almost 14, 15 years ago. As you can see, I've been cutting around it with the zero turn, and actually I had thoughts on just rolling it over with the zero turn because it just looked dead. Here's all of the stuff that I pruned from around it, and it had a whole bunch of dead stuff. So I figured it was dead. And all of a sudden, a couple of days ago, maybe last week, I looked at it and I was like, this thing is still alive. So I commenced mulching it up a little bit. I'm probably gonna fertilize it, but it's still living. And the cool thing about it is, last year, this thing, even though I thought it was dead, it actually put off one peach, and it was on the ground rotting. I noticed that when I was cutting the grass as well. And this thing's probably a little over 6 foot tall now. It's a good thing seeing that in there. You can see that ladybug, look at there. That's pretty cool to see. Got a peach tree. One that I planted years ago that's actually still alive and growing. To think that I was just gonna run it over just to level it off with the zero turn, I'm glad I didn't. So now we finna walk on to the north side of the 40, and I'm gonna show you my other fruit trees that I have going. All right, over here I have two golden loquats. They are still growing, and I actually thought I was gonna lose actually all of these trees. We had a really bad ice storm towards the beginning of the year. It was just awful. I actually thought I was gonna lose these guys, but they are actually still growing, putting off new leaves. I don't know why they're not just getting really big. Maybe that's just the way that loquat trees grow. But I've been trying to keep everything, the grass cut around them and mulched when I can. Most of the golden loquat trees that I've ever seen were in New Orleans when I was younger, and they were trees. You could climb them, and that's how big they were. Here's the other one, and it's still growing and getting just a little bit taller. Look at that right there. Got some comfrey that's going to flower, and I planted that comfrey last year sometime next to this loquat tree just to help it out. But look how beautiful that comfrey's growing. That's right. And my celestial fig is still growing as well. I thought this one I was going to lose it as well with that hard freeze that we got. It's still growing. I pruned it back early in the year because there's a bunch of it that was dead. The frost bit it real good. Probably be a while for this thing even thinks about setting fruit, but it's still green and growing. Y'all waiting to get fed, ain't you? What are y'all doing? Trey? Daddy? What are you making all that noise for? What? What? Trey, what are you doing? Yeah, I'll bring y'all some treats later on. What? You spoil rotten, both of y'all. So let me show you this one last tree that I planted last year, actually the beginning of last year. And yeah, this is another one of those things you're like, wow, it's still living. Check this out. What this sticky leafy thing is actually a plum tree, a wild plum tree. I had a friend at work that actually had a bunch of these trees at his home place, and he had some that fell over with the high wind. So I was like, do you have one that you could, you know, bring me that still has a little bit of roots left on it, because a bunch of them blew over? And he brought me two. I planted two. This is the one that lived. And this guy's got to be maybe a good 12 foot tall, but it's still leggy. Hey, it's a fruit tree. Well, I want to show you this too. It's not a actual fruit tree, but this is a snowball tree. And this guy probably wasn't about that tall when I put him in the ground. Look at him now. I've been fertilizing him. Yeah, snowball tree. These things are pretty cool. They put off these flowers that resemble a snowball. So maybe this year, once it warms up, we'll get some snowballs forming on this tree. Well, that's what I wanted to share with you and y'all today. Just give y'all a little look, see at the fruit trees that I have growing over here that are still growing despite all this crazy weather we've been getting. This morning, it was actually in the low 40s, if you can believe that. And we're in May over here in East Central Mississippi. So the weather's just crazy. So again, I hope everybody is having a good Friday, and I hope everybody stays safe this weekend amid this crisis that we still have going on. If you like this video, go and give it a thumbs up, they help. If you haven't subscribed to the Home and Sticks channel, Lord of mercy. Y'all need to come on over here and give old Dan a look, because I'm always trying to do stuff and keep stuff growing. With that being said, you know it's coming down, reference show enough, always gonna say it. Don't let nobody dull your shine. And I mean nobody. You showing up to get your shine on, get your grow on, it's important. And Dan will see you and y'all in the next video.